Oh, crap. Hey everyone, today we're going to look at some more Emu Cup replays. Got a couple of nice games here, but we're joined by a very special guest today, Andrew, BDWSSBB. How are you?
For someone who's up at 5 a.m., surprisingly well.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you very much for waking up at a weird time to do this. Or actually, have you just been awake the whole time?
Yeah. What's a sleep
Okay.
schedule?
And hello everyone that's here already. Can someone in the chat just let me know how the volume is between us? But hopefully I should be able to hear you fine. Oh, I don't know if you're going to read the chat while we go, Andrew. Otherwise, I can just like sort of read out questions to you, or if you have it open.
I can't see chat. I'm just seeing your Discord screen.
No worries. I will read out any appropriate questions you get then. I mean, the first question was, are they ever changing victory column? And I actually do have an answer to that. So I asked Bastion, and he's like, I waited 1 month because he's like, well, we were late putting Andrew on victory column, so it's only fair that we're a bit late putting you there. And I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. So I waited a whole month to ask. And then, yeah, I asked, and he said, oh, yeah, we completely forgot about that. We'll get right onto that. So, should be happening soon, I've been told.
I'm okay stepping down from my legacy on the column. It's Sam's turn. He gets to enjoy all the glory on it. Well-deserved glory.
Okay, and apparently you're a bit louder, so I've just turned you down a little bit. Tobiko's saying I should just mute myself and let you have the stream. Okay. Anyway, so this first game is between Abiath and Aluap Tsai. Both these guys are in the Kangaroo Flock, I think, which is JD and Box's group. But they both have a pretty good record so far. And yeah, I picked this game because, well, of course, the base project is Primates, one of them, so you love a good monkey game.
Of course.
The other projects are America's Predators, and yeah, we're looking at this from Abiath's perspective as first player, end goals, architectural, and favorite. So, I mean, what are you looking at from this opening hand immediately?
So the first card that we should see is the Con-Top Tamarind. It's of course a double project, but do be aware that it's going to be really difficult to play because it requires 2 research, and we don't have any in our hand inherently. Like, yes, there is diversity researcher, but that's going to be slow. So maybe there's going to be a double research opening, especially with medical breakthrough giving incentive with a 2 research opener and then 2 rep in the second round.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure if it's worth it. Now, of course, we could go with the line of the Tamarind, and then we take the 3 sponsors because we want to upgrade sponsors anyway for diversity researcher that then plays medical breakthrough, diversity researcher just being kind of nice, and there's not much else saying in this hand except the Rhino. At this point, I would say it's a toss-up between medical breakthrough and the Rhino because medical breakthrough is going to be a bit slow, especially with how we don't have a plan to do a project round 1, so we won't be getting 2 extra tickets. The Rhino is nice for having a project, and we're going to get a science tag anyway. We plan to go to universities if we want the Tamarind, but we're not sure if we can hold the Rhino's project easily if unless we play diversity researcher and have a 2 rep university and then 5 hand combo later. Yeah. So this is the choice you have to make. I would personally go with the Rhino instead of breakthrough because yeah, I can get 3 CP probably, but it's just a bit slow. If we did have research Zoo, though, then it would most certainly push me to take breakthrough over the Rhino.
Well, you have the same idea as Abiath, same picks, same keeps. It's a little bit of an awkward hand because the Tamarind's the only thing coming out in the first round, and then everything else you kind of have to hold till the next round, at least. So
what do we do in our first turn? Sponsors at 5 with no playable sponsors is
it's
unpleasant.
A very awkward start.
At this point, I would just cards 4, hope for the best. We are on commercial harbor anyway, so cards 5 is not as different as cards 4 because we will still get 2 cards in total. And if those cards aren't that great, we'll just sell them because we have no reason not to start near the harbor.
Well, that's the next question. Is there anything on the display that's snappable here that you'd want to do cards at 5 for?
Yeah, there is a problem here. There's a brown spider monkey just sitting there, but because our opponent has cards at 5, we should just not bother. The funny thing with brown spider monkey is while it is a double project, it also has the slightly annoying requirement of needing a monkey icon, unlike its familiar cousin the Duke that just needs a research. So it's one of those things where if they were to snap the brown spider monkey, they most likely have a primate in their hand.
Yep.
Regardless, though, we aren't going to be able to take it before they could because we would have to break 5, which is really awkward. And then they're just going to card swipe, snap brown spider monkey anyway,
Well,
with our associate lesser. So we can't guarantee the 5 hand either.
do we have to break 5? Because Abiath's first move is actually just Xing back sponsors, which, you know, I'm normally not a fan of, but given how awkward this action order is, I don't think it's kind of the worst idea.
It's something that we just have to suck up because we've been forked at the beginning from our unfortunate action order. So it's a hard bullet to swallow, but it is understandable. We also get to respond to whatever our opponent does first, because at the moment, this is more reacting.
They start with Asia Partner Zoo, which is a little bit unexpected because it's not a base project.
So this Naked Asia Zoo tells me 3 things by default. We can
3.
expect either a Tarsier, a Japanese macaque, or some sort of breeding program, or multiple of those options. Those are the 3 things I'm going to be looking at because, of course, Asia is not related to anything at first glance. Maybe there could be a predator, but probably not because we want monkeys to be done first. But usually when there's a partnership that doesn't match with any of the projects, it's either a breeding program or an animal that is from that continent and most certainly needs it, which is the macaque and the tarsier.
Okay, stuff to keep an eye out for. This move from Abiath is actually snapping a card. And if you're going to snap any card out of these, got to be the brown spider monkey, right? Out of all of them.
Yes, now happily we can do the tamarin and then the brown spider monkey right after because we don't need to go partnership route, unlike the other monkeys that I've mentioned.
Opponent also does a cards action, but they just draw from the deck, which is also understandable. It's not really anything that's snappable at the moment. Yeah, we're ignoring the emu, we're ignoring victory column. There is a llama, which is America's, which could be interesting later. Yeah, Rundell is saying maybe you can just snap up the brown spider monkey first as the opponent, because Asia should be uncontested. But yeah, it really depends what the opponent's going for. Because they don't necessarily have a primate either.
Yes, we're just speculating. Once they do a build action, it'll give us a few more clues, but right now we're just observing.
Yeah. This is, of course, that double science uni. You're pretty much on track with Abiath, like same game plan, which is understandable. Opponent builds a 2-size touch in the harbor, which, I mean, could still be the Tarsier. Just picking up a random card and selling a card. Ibex is nice for diversity researcher. Well, yeah, I guess it could be, but it's a bit of a distraction, I feel.
It's not in our priorities just yet. If we can grab it, sure, but we have more important things to worry about.
Yeah, it's something that could also go well with the llama and diversity, but yeah. With opponents having sponsored on 5, we're going to have to sell a card, right? What gets sold first?
As strange as it sounds, I'm selling the rhino first.
Okay. Abiath makes the call for diversity researcher first, which I think still okay.
That also makes sense. Honestly, I will always find an excuse to take diversity researcher with me just because it's such a fun card. But
Yeah,
Rhino is probably the more rational pick
you're
in the
Mr.
grand scheme
Sponsor
of
Man,
things.
of course. Big reveal, opponent plays Great Hornbill, so I mean, yeah. That definitely tells us they have a bird breeding program. That's the only animal they play. They sell another card. Pretty straightforward move, just playing their Tamarin. And then opponent's going to break 5 and cause the break. So, I mean, relatively even start. I mean, the opponent's in a nice position because they have a project to do immediately, whereas we're just going to grab like second university and upgrade sponsors for Explorer, which is still fine.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no! What do you foresee in the future here?
I see a threat of a double pilfer already.
How annoying is it? This is the good thing and bad thing about animals that give you conservation points is obviously the good thing is you get the early CP. The bad thing is it puts you in range for double pilfer. I mean, let's see how this plays out. First move is just spending an X to grab hand size to then upgrade sponsors to play Explorer immediately. But yeah, opponent does their bird breeding program. They take snapping reward, and there's only one card they're gonna snap here.
So much pain. You know what's really extra painful about them taking the Japanese macaque? In our world, we want to be playing Brown Spider Monkey. We play Explorer, draw some cards, get a few extra bucks, build a 4-hex, and then play the Brown Spider Monkey.
Yep.
That gets us into double pilfer range. We
I
were going
know.
to be happy that we were going to get 2 conservation points so that we can get our upgrade a little bit earlier, but now it's just backfiring on this.
Yep. The opponent also takes Worker at 2 CP, which I'm a pretty big fan of. I think that's a good move by them. Especially when they see Abiath upgrading sponsors. It's either going to be like a sponsor or a talented communicator, like just a sponsor to play, so it's going to be a longer round.
Yeah, naturally, when you observe someone upgrading sponsors, more likely than not, they have an actual sponsor they want to play. Sure, you can break 5 gain 10, that happens, but even then, Aluap would be hedging their bets by taking snapping, which is an income-based reward, so that means more breaks is better,
Yep.
while having workers, so they have something to do with their association.
Dude, chat is completely on the ball. I love this like sequence of moves coming up. Opponent draws from the deck. Here we build a 4 size. Draw random card, which gets sold immediately. Do you sort of see where this is going?
Well, it could be just to play the Rhino so that you. Well, okay, we can't even. Oh wait, we can play the Rhino if we presumably do cards by sell our 2 cards and then play the Rhino because it would give us $4 for our Explorer. Now the question is, do you really want to be playing the Rhino right now anyway? No, you'd rather be playing Brown Spider Monkey. I'm also curious why Abiath did not do cards by previously, since cards at least can generate you a bit more money, so getting that cycle faster compared to say build, which we don't exactly want to be doing right now. I'd rather be getting more cards so that we can at least get some more money from the round if we need to.
Well, I think the next move is going to surprise you a bit then. Brown Spider Monkey.
Oh, yes.
Worker at 2 CP.
They're not the only ones who can do Worker at 2. So I did figure that the 2 CP was going to be for the second Worker as well, because the tempo just works out. I just did not have in my mind that Brown Spider Monkey would also be giving an X token, therefore making this plan a lot faster. Now, let's also observe the opponent's board, because we need to look at what if. Okay, so here's a big problem. Oh,
Yep.
wait. There is no problem anymore. We sold the Rhino.
Yeah, there's only a single pilfer now. There's only 5 money to give.
Oh, okay. I am so proud of you, Abiath. That was a play that even I did not foresee. Lowering the pilfer just by not having anything in your hand.
Just being too broke to be pilfered. But it creates such an interesting standoff now because the opponent just grabs Partner Zoo here. Like, they can upgrade animals before they do it. They're also waiting for, like, Abiath can't stay at 0 cards forever. Like, you're eventually going to have to draw something up.
So naturally, Abiath is going to want to do Association 5 because a break 2 with cards at 5 would persuade the opponent to just break.
Yeah.
So Abiath wants to get that worker in. But the only stalling move after that Association action would be for Aluap to play a sponsor, which we don't know. But regardless, let's just see what Association action Abiath will do. I would probably take 2 Hex just to get a few more enclosures and see if it dissuades Aluap from trying to play the mechanic for only a single pilfer, because we can build a 2-hex in a fashion that does not draw us a card. And besides, 2-hex is a way to pseudo draw. It's close enough to snapping while getting enclosures for your next animals.
I think you might like this next move even more than what you suggested. It's spending the X to do the project, of course. Does take snapping first. And just snaps up the Lorikeet. Just a useless card. Now, you could sell it
That is
immediately, but the opponent has 5 out of 3 cards, so they're already out of card space, basically.
that is true, because they can only sell one.
Yeah, they can
Well,
only
they
sell one
would
per
be
turn.
able. Yeah, well, the thing is, if they play their mechanic, they would be down to 4 cards, but then they would steal the lore key, which brings them down to 5. Then they sell, they're at 4, and they are in position to be causing break because we will be doing cards 5 next. And they'll be able to get their 2 cards sold, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. But they want full compensation for their pilfer, so they're just building first. Building a 2-size, drawing up, just randomly from the deck. No one's playing Victory Column from range, so it looks like you're just going to fall off the display, sadly. They start selling cards. And now, yeah, sort of, I can't wait around for it, so this is just a normal cards action. So we are going to get double pilfered here. But I mean, not the best cards.
So, would we want to not keep the alligator just to ensure that they get hot garbage from this hand? Because now we have the option to give 2 cards.
Yeah, well,
We don't. I'm not 100% sure if we want the alligator that much with how clunky it is, but it is America's. At the same time, you just do America's too and call it a day.
I think the plan was just get rid of the best card in the hand, which was probably Geological, and then just give 2 random cards. And we're about to see this is Pilfer time. And yeah, this is the hot garbage hand. It is just going to be double card give, because now opponents at 6 out of 3, they can't sell everything. Okay, they play Squirrel Monkey's second animal. And yeah, they just sell 1, but now we just cause break.
What's really funny is that the petting zoo survived out of this
Yes.
while another petting zoo was sitting in the row.
And have a look at all these petting zoos coming up. We have the Mangalitza here, and then there's the sheep as well. It's paid off.
Oh, you cannot be serious. Oh my gosh.
Both players have snapping, so what's our priority for snapping here?
Oh, it's really tough because since we both taken 2 CP worker, Taco isn't as much of a necessity.
Yep.
But at the same time, what is there that we really want? Maybe the llama, because when you look at our opponent, they are in position to do Americas too if they want and just block, which means we would have to go long on Americas whether we like it or not.
Yep.
So the funny thing is that I might take the llama. The taco isn't that useful to the opponent either because they would have to go through a process of upgrading sponsors.
Abiath has the same thoughts. Unfortunately, Aquarium shows up for the opponent, and that makes it a pretty easy snap for them. They're very happy getting
Always
that.
Always snap from deck.
Yeah, exactly. And their sponsors at 5, but they... I mean, they can play it. They choose to build first before playing it, which is, I don't know, a little bit odd. Oh, they really want to... They really want the macaque, so they draw that up first. Okay. Interesting.
Oh yeah, it never dawned on me that there was also Primates 4 just sitting there, but that is pretty interesting that they really wanted, if they were doing a build 3 that isn't cycling their association.
Yeah,
That
it's...
might hit that they already have a game plan for Primates 4 if they really want to ensure the final piece of the puzzle.
It feels a long way away because they don't have Africa Partner Zoo and they already have 2 Partner Zoos and they don't have Association upgraded. So it's going to be a... Like, they would have to upgrade Associate 5 reputation to make this happen soon.
It makes me wonder, why didn't the opponent just do Association 4 to get a university, which would get 1 or 2 reputation, which then upgrades Association so that they can get the macaque? Because we don't know they want the macaque that much,
Yes,
but they
true.
do. But then they could have just built right after, well, to cycle back Association, which is
I
really
agree.
important action in this game because everyone took 2 CP work.
Yeah, it's a bit of a backwards action order because you do want to be cycling through your association much faster than you do an unupgraded build action. And yeah, it also puts the Mangalitsa in range, which we just build a petting zoo and draw up. So now double petting zoo. Plus, I mean, llamas really should be a petting zoo animal as well. It's like triple petting zoo in this hand.
Okay, so why doesn't the coconut lorky have a bird icon?
Yeah, I've been asking this for a very long time. It should. Then we could also leech off bird breeding program. Opponent chooses to, interestingly, not go for 2 Americas. They just grab hand size uni now. Does get him their upgrade, which is Association, which, yeah, is kind of what we expected with the Africa Partner Zoo. But yeah, choosing not to do 2 Americas. And Abiath is the same, choosing not to do 2 Americas, which is maybe a bit more understandable because with Partner Zoo and Llama, that's already up to 4 Americas. But I'm a little bit nervous when you see your opponent passing on the option to do 2 Americas, because it means they must have more in their hand.
We are 100% sure. We think at the moment, if they are going to support a project, they're going to go for Primates 4 first, unless they really have all the Americas and we start to show precedence because of that Barbary macaque draw. Because as we saw, they took a university to upgrade association when we pointed out that they probably should have done it the other way around.
Yeah, also not a huge fan of the 3rd university grab. I think this must nearly always be wrong. The advantage is it does give you an upgrade and 5 CP right now, but at the same time, it just makes this uni reward at the end of the game useless. Like, it's normally something you can cross with, like, just for extra points at the end.
Well, now hold on. Let's think about that a little bit more. So, taking the 2 rep university here lets you upgrade animals, correct?
Yeah, and I guess the idea is sheep from range or something. Is that your idea?
You would draw 3 cards. You can get the taco, the sheep, and 1 more card that's being used as fodder. It also puts expert in small animals and zoo school into play, which are just nice to have as threats so that your sponsor's action can be productive.
Well, unfortunately, they get the CP before the rep, so a bit of a backwards order there. But yeah, the idea was to drop not the taco, the stoat, which I mean is a predator, and yeah, animals is the upgrade here. Start selling cards. It's not a bad looking hand, but
it's native farm. That means we are obligated to check everyone's maps. Just make sure nothing silly can happen.
Native farm not looking great for Abiath because like all the bottom's being covered. It's looking pretty damn good for the opponent though. Like, well, it's looking not bad. They're about to play an aquarium, which helps.
It's decent, but mind that they're at 19 tickets, which would mean if they really want to play that aquarium, yeah, it's not going to be a native farm, especially with aquarium's awkward shape in commercial harbor. Okay, you would think in commercial harbor that in a corner would fit just fine. Turns out not really.
No. Well, it normally likes to wrap around the sort of lake here, but that's already been covered.
How unfortunate.
But yeah, I mean, they could, if they really wanted to, like, snap it up, build a 2 size for it, but it's probably not worth the effort and the snap at this stage. We have animals action, so you just be playing the sheep from range here. Understandable. Yeah, so Mike is asking why not Taco. It's because both players took worker at 2 CP. Like, they both have avenues to get to 4 workers already, which makes Communicator much less important.
Yes, now beware for the opponent that if the taco just sits there,
Yeah, it's better than
Abiath
playing nothing.
This is the value of sponsors too. You can leave sponsors like these, the taco, small X-Men small animals, the zoo school, because you don't want to commit into drawing them because you'd rather be drawing actual things that you need.
Yeah.
But if the round does get long enough, you have a way to threaten to get more value than your opponent out of a prolonged round. That puts the onus on of breaking on them, so they don't want you to reap the rewards of just free points from the row. Well, not free, but really cheap while not committing.
Yeah, look at, like, you'd be happy playing any of these 3 sponsors right now, and we have sponsors at 4 upgraded, ready to go.
Yeah, instead of having drawn the sheep that we played from range we got a badger, which then told us, okay, we need a stoat. So there was reason to draw the stoat in the end and not the taco, because do we really need the taco? No.
Okay, interesting question from Robert. With Aquarium blocking a lot of the water spaces here, is it still worth playing?
Well, we have to point out the elephant in the room, or more like the elephant that died in the desert. Okay, where would the Asian elephant go? Where would the Sumatran tiger go? The pelican, the dugong? Because now you have to upgrade Bill for that. And in this day and age, no one likes doing that.
Or get diversity researcher.
Oh, that's in the trash can. They don't know that. We do.
Choosing to play Zoo School, I think that's fine. Zoo School's probably the most contested out of the 3 sponsors, because the opponent doesn't have upgraded sponsors, so obviously they're not interested in playing the Communicator right away. I mean, they can't. Draws randomly from the deck. Hits a grass snake. Draws up X-Wing and small, which I like. I mean, this hand is just full of small animals.
And oh, look, the small animals project.
That could be very important coming up. Yeah, no surprise, so opponent grabs Africa Partner Zoo. They start donating. We're not in Pilfer range right now, so that macaque is going to have to wait. Ooh, okay, how about this? Do you think it's more important to grab a Partner Zoo right now or snap up that taper? I'm a bit concerned because that is America's icon number 5, and it flocks with the llama. So that's like a super high priority animal.
Sure. But we also have small animals as a threat. If there are 2 cards that you want, you can kind of just leave it alone. Especially if you value them approximately the same. Small animals, well, we can do it at small animals for pie to get 3 CP, or we can play the taper. Now, most likely they won't want the taper because that's more useful to them than small animals, but we can still get something out of this. So, if small animals weren't there, I'd be more concerned about the taper. But
That's
because
fair.
small animals can be used as compensation, we can just leave it alone.
I think the difference between them is pretty substantial, because if this like swings them from getting America's 5 instead of America's 2, that's a pretty big difference. We'll see.
So now they have to spend an X token to really go for it.
I think that's worth it for them for sure. Depending on what else is in their hand, of course. But yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. So now would you just snap up small animals, because if you miss out on small animals, you're kind of boned?
Nah, always draw from deck.
Always draw from deck? No. Playing it safe, snapping up small animals. I could see an argument either way. I think likely we're going to have to break in a... Well, opponent still has a worker, actually. Opponent might be looking to do a project. Guess it depends what this animal's action is. Oh no, sponsors first. Water playground. Oh, aquarium value. Water playground, +6.
What really sucks is that all of our animals are small, meaning I've really built all the enclosures for them without the 2 size reward. That's why I really like the 2 size reward.
I like it as well. Well, I think then this action has to be just a manual 2 size. Wait, a 1 size? We can't play this
It makes
scope
sense.
yet.
Well, think about how they want to play expert small animals anyway, but they also want to possibly play the taco, just get some free points out of the round.
I
They can
hear
play a
you.
water playground.
I hear you, but at the same time, let's just build a 2 size for the badger or the llama next, and we can still afford to play taco from range. Okay, I mean, question now is, whose position do you like better at the moment? Scores are
Alright,
dead
let's go
even.
here.
Money's about even.
You can't 100% tell from hands because, from our perspective, we don't have America's 5 just yet with the taper being snapped up. We do have a small animals project book, though. But yeah, that is a good question. What is the 5th small animal here? Perhaps a Tasmanian devil? Maybe? But I'm not 100% sure. We only have 3 small animals at the moment.
yes.
So, and yeah, the opponent also has a water, an aquarium with 4 water tags, so just 2 more and they get the CP. But that aquarium is kind of crammed. It's really awkward to get any more waters in there unless they find the 2 hex
Hydrologist.
water animals. Hydrologist, the hippie, the lesser flamingo. Oh, the grass snakes is dead, but we still have the slowworm pond turtle.
We got an answer from the opponent, so they have the red howl. That means they do have 4 primates, and they at least have 4 Americas in hand, with the taper
Yeah,
still in there.
so from our speculation of why they really want that Barbary macaque, going back to it, yes, they did have primates core in their hand.
And we don't care about Taco, we're just going to break it. I guess just in case the opponent has a project to do, which I don't think is likely because we basically know 2/3 of their hand, right? We know they have Taper, we know they have the Macaque. We just don't know what the third card is, I don't believe. There is a Slow Worm. Oh, there's an Archaeologist too. Oh no.
Don't worry, it's only getting 1 more times 2, since both of us have already covered most of our borders, so I wouldn't worry too much about the archaeologists at this stage. Sure, it's annoying that they could times 2 association again, but I'd be worried more about the Tasmanian devil at this rate, because we really want that Tasmanian devil.
For the
It's a
Predator,
predator.
and for the 1 size, yeah.
It's small animal number 5 with the Mongolica. So we better take that Tassie devil.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I mean, I'd be more scared of Archaeologist if there were more border spaces open, but yeah, there's only 1 open for the opponent, 1 open for us, so... Asia release. Maybe the solution is, if they snap up the Tasmanian Devil, we have the Slow Worm to play from range as compensation. But the thing is, the Tas Devil is just a better animal to play, and it's also Predator number 3.
I can understand that you would want to take the Asia release away because they have a mechanic that. Hi. But yes, they have the mechanic, which, yeah, it frees up at 3 hex, but they would lose their water, which means they have to get it back for the aquarium endgame. It's a 7 ticket animal for the 3 hex, so only plus buys with the maybe the reputation mattering.
Yeah.
But we both really want the Tasmanian Devil much more, so why didn't we take the Tasmanian Devil is what I'm thinking. And yeah, they want to play the Barbarian Macaque right now so that they can do Primates 4. It's
Yeah, which
just
they do.
they did want to do the Asia release first because they wanted to do Primates 4.
They could have still released the Hornbill, which you can also make the argument like frees up space for the Taper. It's a worse release, like even worse than the Macaque, which is not a great release.
But at that point, you would just take the 2 hex reward and then cause break. Well, the build would also make a second enclosure, or you just get another 2 hex if your hypothetical Fifth Americas is also a 2 hex.
Yeah. We do see Slow Worm. Not the worst, not the best. I mean, at least it denies the water tag from the opponent. I'm not sure if we dig anything away here. Like, we could dig away the Asia release. We could dig away the Tarsier. Yeah, Tarsier goes. Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Does anyone have a way to fit that boy in?
Oh, that's a
Okay,
good
not our
question,
opponent,
actually.
boy.
Opponent can't unless they upgrade build with, like, a second university here. We can, but we don't have the third monkey tag.
I don't even know if our opponent really wants to upgrade build. It's kind of clunky.
Probably not, but
they might.
They do take.
They might just have to. Yeah, they just want the 2 hex. They can't get the university just yet.
They draw Archaeologist from range. That's just a denial one because they draw it up with the last border space, so they're gonna sell that instantly. But they do get ×2 here as well on cards.
Early, they put the organic multiplier cards on an animal that's way too expensive. So Outside decides, okay, I'm going to do it much more easier fashion. Seriously, why does the Mandrill have ×2 cards?
This is instead of the Mandrill, it's going to ×2 on cards here. All right, fair enough.
Oh, that's nice to keep in the row for now.
That is a maxed out. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Display 5 sponsors and an unplayable animal for both players. Very interesting. Okay, so next question now. We know the opponent has America's 4. Do we give up the race and just do America's 2 and save like small animals for later? Because we could do small animals for max.
Well, let's see. We could. If we were to do America's 2 right now, we would get the 2 hex. Then the problem is we are at 5 animals. It would take at least 2 more animals actions to get us to small animals, even if we will inevitably get there. And then what are we doing for?
So you're saying we probably want to do a project in between the animals actions, but I guess second partners who could be an option for something to do in between. Okay, it is just going to be small animals first.
I'd probably just take the $5 at that point.
Yeah, I agree. Like 1 reputation or the 5 money. The 5 money is probably more useful.
And also,
if this is a clever down build, I think it's pretty fine timing. Yeah. I assume the opponent wants to break relatively soon. See what this build action is. Another 3 size for them. They clever back sponsors. They want to do their ×2 cards.
You know, did we not consider the possibility that our opponent did not have 5 Americas?
I think there's a real possibility they still don't at the moment. Although maybe the 3
But
size tells us they do. It's a bit of a weird thing to build.
well, at that point, it's a cougar, or the, or as I like to call it, the pod tortoise. But that's too expensive. So if anything, it would have to be a cougar, and even then, that's pretty expensive now, is it?
Well, could be the tortoise with like the ×2 on cards. I don't know.
Well, all that speculation is going to fly out the window soon with their ×2 cards. They're just going to get more options that we don't know. And
Yeah.
oh, hey, look, a panda that we can't play. How unfortunate.
Can't play yet. We just need a bear to be able to play it. Africa release, not that interesting.
Yeah, so now that we drew the giant panda, the strategy now is to ask Darcel to borrow some luck so that we can draw a sun bear as well.
There are other things that we could use, but Sunbear would be top of the list. Keeping Waza Large, which is playable next move, is good. Waza Large for Mandrill. Ooh, Luke in chat. Waza Large to play the Mandrill. Thoughts?
You know,
Yes.
I was going to mention that the mandrill is kind of nice if we just want big points, but then we would have to find the third primate. However, we did find the third primate. It's called Waza Large.
Yeah, when do we not want big points? And also, we have a release for the Mandrill. We're kind of running out of projects to do, honestly. I think that could be very relevant. We'll see. So opponent just starts drawing from the deck. They draw from the deck as well, so, I mean, maybe they're hunting for their last America's tag. Maybe they're just looking for cards to sell. They do sell one. This is Asia Partner Zoo holding out hope for that panda. Upgrading cards last. Yep, makes a lot of sense. And I guess the big reveal, opponent gets their last worker. Taper. I guess we're not going to find out that 5th America's tag or not.
Well, it could happen. They sell a card, they play cougar, but we'll see. Anyway, favorite zoo.
Yes, yeah.
Favorite zoo all day, every day.
No surprise. Oh, they dig away the vet. Yeah, understandable. Oh,
No.
The Mandrill! Oh, that hurt to see.
So this is at the point where we red thumb our opponent for killing monkeys. Just kidding.
I mean, it's the scariest card there by far. I guess what it also tells us is they're pretty happy with their hand at the moment. Okay, selling a card. No second animal, not the cougar. Meanwhile... Oh, I don't know about this. Causing the break instead of playing Waza Large here. I guess opponent has 3 workers?
They are guaranteed to do a project this round with America's too if they were so... Well, it's just small animals. They could still hold out on the America's race, so... There is reason to do break 5 right now, as sad as it is. And now that the Mandrill is gone, Waza Large is, for now, sitting in a corner crying.
Yeah,
so
but
we
also...
are 100% sure.
I'm looking at 60 money here, and I don't see a good way to spend it at the moment. Yeah, Waza Large dies. Like, we're
Literally all we can do is hope that... Well, that's not it. I was going to say we would hope that there's some nice animal like a sun bear, or just really any big chunky animal, an elephant, I don't know, anything.
Do we even want the science lab here? This game could end very soon. Imagine a world where the opponent has Galapagos Tortoise plus ×2 on a source.
I don't want the science lab. I want to take away the lesser flamingo away from my opponent with that stupid aquarium who's just sitting there. I don't want a 9-point animal.
Okay, we agree there. 2 size, just, setting up for the, that flamingo's not playable for us, sadly, but the 2 size kind of has to go there to get ready for the ×2. I guess...
It doesn't have to. You can position the 2-hex so that the pavilion that the flamingo places allows the next break to create a ×2.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an option, but then it also forces us to definitely play the flamingo for the next round. Bear. Bit tricky
Does our opponent know we really want that? And not only that, that would force us to build 2-3 hex, and honestly, it's just gonna be gone.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, building 2-3 hexes is just a bit too awkward, even if the payoff is like really good for the panda. Well, we do have the herbivore with the llama in hand, so like that's not a problem. Ooh, zebra. Let's see. Oh, opponent built another 3 size. That's ominous. They play... Oh, they had breeding co-op. That was the answer.
Well, that's lame.
They are very broke, though. Well, that's the first of the 3 hexes. I think the panda plan is on right now.
It is a lot of points, and in this world, we really need to be more action efficient than money efficient. We need to get points fast. We're sitting on $57 that we cannot spend.
$60 now because Expert on Europe just got sold, which could have been playable as well, honestly.
I would have at least held off on selling right now since we're swimming on money, and maybe we need a 1 hex for so who knows, but
it could be useful to like get the start out. Maybe. So yeah, opponent does Americas, they just grab second university. I expect they can upgrade cards. And since they see this 3 size here, they might just deny the sloth bear with this. There's really not much else. Yeah, they take away... Oh no. The plan's dead again. They probably want it as well because they have 2 empty 3 hexes and only 4 cards in hand. One of them is the sloth bear.
Yeah, they play the sloth bear. They're guaranteed a project to do next round because they can do small animals. At the worst, this is not great for us.
Yeah, it's sort of... It looked very promising early, but I don't know. I think not doing Americas 2 has turned out to be a bit of a mistake. It obviously is hard to tell you're not going to win the race, but I don't know. If I see my opponent like confidently not supporting it at 2, I'm a little bit concerned. Let's see. Just gonna... Well, that helps somewhat, drawing just a random research from the deck.
Kind of.
Stoat hunts a Caracal. It's not bad. That's also Africa release project to do. Flamingo in the 3 size. Okay, that I did not expect.
Oh, what? What? Interesting.
It is. I guess like Pavilion... Oh, not even Pavilion over the X token. That's definitely where I would have gone. Opponent does animals at 3 now. Oh yeah, they're just going to play their sloth bear. Like, perfect timing for it. And a reindeer, so... I guess they had 5 Americas all along. They probably just had the reindeer from the start. Okay, can the opponent end it now? They have only 5 money. Or they actually sell their last card. I don't know about that at all.
So that gives us some more confidence because they have to break 5. They need actually good cards now when they have 0. So while they are encroaching to the end, we can rest in solace that they need to be doing some really annoying moves to find the final pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah,
so we have a little more time than it seems.
I'm not a fan of selling the card immediately because it gives us a ton of information. Like, we know their whole hand, so we know that they're going to do small animals as this project. Right? That's the only thing they can do, small animals for 2. And then we know that they have no threat to end the game after that. So, like, we could even take a cards action or something. Well, I guess they're probably going to take X tokens and cause the break. But it also tells us they don't have any projects to do coming up. Because, like, they're going to do small animals and they have no projects in hand. So they have a tough time crossing here, actually. Yeah, okay, we do cards. I guess we just need to sort of find a bear, pray for a bear, although we don't have the 3 sides for it now. There is a bear.
Not a very... okay, I'm gonna withhold on saying it's not very playable. Because that times 2, traditionally people are very used to doubling their association. But the cooler thing to do when you've got the money and we have way too much of is to double your animals.
Yeah, that could definitely be an option.
Just imagine the opponent kind of has to cause the break here, so we're gonna have the turn advantage. We build a 5-hex for the grizzly, while income we get the 2-hex to play animals twice. We play a badger, a grizzly, a panda, and something else.
Okay, we don't have the 3 sides for the panda though. That's the problem. Wait, hold up. The flamingo gets released. We get the 3 sides back. Oh, I didn't actually consider that.
Oh,
I'm okay. We're a little bit sad that we don't have Waza Large still for that enclosure. But yeah, opponent does small animals as expected, and they just take X tokens. So they're certainly going to break 7 next move. Okay, Africa release. X tokens. Yeah, don't really need anything else. Definitely don't need worker and don't need money and can't get university. Oh, even I don't know about selling the project though.
I'd sell Wolf because I cannot imagine any timeline where we play the Wolf. We want the Grizzly above all.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Hey, did you notice that we also have 4 Predators in our hand that we can play next round, assuming we get the time? Funny that.
1, 2. Yeah, okay. So then I guess we don't need research either because we're just doing 4 Predators as the project.
Yeah. Now we complain that it's not a brown bear, so it doesn't double our association. Beggars can't be choosers.
How close are we to actually crossing with this animals action? Because there's also explorer points coming in as well, like 2 explorer points at minimum.
Okay, let's actually calculate this so we can 9
plus 4 3 at minimum.
3,
wait, no, whoa, hang on, the llama's gone.
No, that's understandable. Because
no?
The 3 predators that No, but the 3 predators that we have from the badger, the caracal, and the grizzly gets us to do predators 4.
But the panda's not playable.
Whoopsies.
Oh no.
So we may have forgotten about the Hermes tag. That seems like everyone forgets.
The porcupine has bailed us? Oh no, not the science library.
Oh, don't worry, they don't know we bought the porcupine. Everything's fine, just be more covert.
Okay, so presumably first move has to be, 5 size. We really have to pray this porcupine stays here, because I think the opponent might just want to do a cards action. Oh, maybe they just do animals straight from... Like, they could definitely just do animals straight from range, and, like, porcupine's one of the only playable animals for them.
Hey, can you recap what their Snaps card was? Because we know their hand, and it tells us if they can then...
Expert on Asia.
Ah.
They're actually just doing 2 reputation here.
That would get them 6 more points. If they do Expert on Asia, they would be at 98 points, so that still won't be enough to cross. Oh, wait. No, they can donate twice because they have times to associate, so that's their plan.
Yeah, but 2 rep? Like, what about last uni? Partner Zoo? Wait, project? Oh, Partner Zoo and 2 rep again. Well, that's super interesting.
Oh. Okay, never mind. And they just end right now. That's ugh.
Oh, the porcupine! No! Oh no, are we actually going to lose because we can't play this panda? Hang on, we still have a caracal hunt.
Okay, so if we find a sun bear.
Gladys is getting upset at me because I'm saying we, we're in the position of the player, but it's not actually us. Okay, we also have a... Sorry. Abiath also has a card draw at 13 rep. Let's see. So, I mean, Caracal first. Got to hunt something. Wow. You know what's, like, equal with a panda? A pog tortoise?
Oh, this game.
Grizzly bear next. Then your last two animals, it is going to be...
Okay, we find a sun bear.
Thorny Devil's better than Badger here.
That's no sun bear.
Wow, what a... This is still going to be really close. What's our end game? Favorite zoo for 14. Thorny Devil for that extra explorer point. No.
Which perfection under 4 years.
98 to 101. With no project, opponent doesn't have breeding co-op end game, so they have no end game showing. We have no end game showing. It just depends on.
We just hope that our opponent has one end game from. Because they win tiebreaker.
Yeah, they win tiebreaker. Like, what could they even have? Like, climbing park would be a loss for the opponent, but they win a lot of others. Or research zoo would be bad. Naturals would be pretty bad. Small animal zoo for 1. Abiath wins 107 to 104.
Oh,
this guy.
If that's not a pog tortoise moment, what is it then?
I mean, that makes the not snapping the porcupine like a really huge mistake looking back. Because if we can play panda, we do win. And porcupine's like the same as thorny devil or badger.
Yeah, because the porcupine would still introduce the herbivores tag, which is what the thorny devil did, but the panda would get 2 more tickets, so it would at least win in a 2 CP endgame world, which could have happened with diversity, biodiverse zoo, aquatic park.
Yeah, it beats a lot more end games, and it's just safer than trying to hunt a random tortoise, which was like the only animal that wins the game, possibly, that fits in a 3 size, right? The only thing that could have won it, apart from Sun Bear, I guess. Yeah, no, I don't think the opponent knew about the panda either. But it's kind of funny how they kept like denying the plans, like taking the sloth bear for the bear.
And when you look at it from the opponent's perspective, taking the porcupine in a vacuum just makes sense because our opponent, we did ×2 animals, so our opponent will test our bluff of do we actually have all the animals in our hand.
Yeah, and we only have like small enclosures as well, and presumably we have the big animals for the large enclosures already. Yeah, pretty interesting game. I didn't actually realize that the game was won by the last hunt. That's quite funny. I did pick it for the selling the rhino to avoid pilfer move. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a game that Darcel and Dwarven had. You remember that?
No, not at all. I've picked a second game for you. This one you might like because you're in the opening hand this time. So anyway, this is between Arrigo and Gloriousbui. Arrigo's first play, so we're going to look at it from their perspective. On Commercial Harbor again, so I mean, a bit like Deja Vu right now, we see Victory Column, Mangalitsa, like, we remember these from last game. Projects are Herbivores, Habitat Diversity, Asia. End goals, Research Zoo, Naturalist Zoo. So, tell me your thoughts on this opening hand.
Okay, well, I'm a narcissist, so I'm obviously picking myself. Okay, in all seriousness, let's look at the projects. The peafowl is just a good starting animal in the first place. Bonus points for Asia being one to test.
Yep.
And of course, if we were picking the peafowl, we might want the ornithologist, first being the most generic, strongest species. And there's a little something to note here. Ornithologist is ever so slightly better in a game that has only one species on the test. And on top of that, it's the first one where it's severely limited. So, because everyone's going habitats, you're going to be a wider array of species. So, really, any species could be played, but they're going to go for a cast of condoms instead. Anyway, just pick the ornithologist. You're getting at least $6 out of it. And now the debate is between the two projects and me.
Okay. Well, okay, let's say you do pick you. Do you have a preference on which project you keep out of the two?
I would go Savannah. There are easier and more rewarding predators that you can go for. You can find the more non-committal ones like the fox, the Tasmanian devil. Oh, okay. The Tasmanian devil would require you to get the 2 Repini, but who doesn't love the Tasmanian devil?
Is that really the second predator you thought of when you thought of predator release?
I don't know why. I don't know why I did not think of a wolf, a caracal, a badger.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking Australian sea lion, Australian fur seal, even just the New Zealand sea lion, the 3-hex boy.
Yeah.
But just really anything. There are just so many hits. And compared to Americans, well, to get it. A deer.
Americas would be like Jaguar.
A cougar.
Like, Cayman is the best one. But then, like,
yeah,
Jaguar, muskox.
Savannah's a lot more consistent.
Okay, so, then would you keep both projects or yourself?
I would just guarantee going strong with 2 good enough sponsors. But I'm sure at least one person is going to argue against me. There is one very slight reason I would keep Victory Column over one of the projects, which is the peafowl. Because the peafowl wants to put a kiosk in a pavilion. So if we're going to go into that route, which we're not 100% sure because maybe we find a good predator that we do a round 1 release, but the default plan is peafowl in a 3-hex that builds a kiosk in the pavilion, and the column supports the kiosk for more money while making extra tickets, which is points and income.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is you want to start with the 3 sites next to the harbor, and one of the kiosks probably goes in the harbor, or like a pavilion goes in there. But yeah, the Victory Column can still help the posturing kiosk.
In this configuration, though, there is another way you can do the peafowls
enclosure, which is a 3-hex. Okay. 3x up here. That makes a lot more sense, actually. Deciding to keep you over the ornithologist, though. Which, I mean, when I was first looking at this hand, these were my 4 picks. I think Orny has some upside with the peafowl. Maybe I'm just underrating the amount of money you're going to get from it throughout the game. But I'm a big fan of keeping both the projects, and I think Victory Column as a round 1 sponsor is like really powerful. Like, it gives you at least 5 appeal throughout the game most of the time, which is a significant amount. But I do like the upside of keeping both projects. Unfortunately, nothing on the display is sort of helping with those. Arrigo just decides to draw from the deck, trying to hit something, but pretty dead draw. Like, maybe 3 of the worst cards you could have possibly hit with this draw.
Could have kept that ornithologist loser.
I mean, true. The sponsor Volt is actually not that bad. Like, imagine having Orny on top of that. But That's actually the first to go. There's some logic to keeping it with the P-Foul first animal.
I don't understand why you just throw the castle in a trash can first.
Yeah, probably. Opponent just starts with hand size. Could signal that they're just going to break 5 next move.
Okay, we need to be concerned because, yeah, they could break 5. That's usually one of the symptoms of 5. And they break 5, so that means we get 2 moves to do our stuff.
Yeah, so then it actually makes a lot of sense playing Victory Column first just on the harbor. Because
Okay,
now we can start selling the
that
trash.
Okay, yeah. That does make sense because we get to sell 2 cards if we do Victory Column first. But I'd like to ask you a hypothetical question of what if your sponsor did not place a thing so that it was not connected to the harbor? Would you be doing association or sponsors first?
Then I would be doing association first because I'm 90% confident the opponent's going to break 5 here. And then I'd just rather have Associate for next round.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think.
But it would also, it would also depend on the hand. Like if your hand is sponsor heavy, then you probably do sponsors first because sponsors need to be cycling faster than association.
True. Yes.
This
They
hand
break
is
5.
not full of sponsors, but yeah.
So without any
Okay, so
release project, just Asia.
Yep.
Sell the domestic in brackets goat. Opponent just starts with a 2 size. Or they draw the Cobra from range. I mean, also interesting, did kind of glossed over the fact that there's an elephant here, which is double. I guess it's really like quadruple project, like 2 Asia, 1 habitat, 1 herbivore.
Well, unfortunately, our opponent has the sand. Who gets the elephant?
Yeah, I was gonna say like Arrigo could have snapped it up, but I think when you have 2 release projects like this, you probably just do want to draw from the deck. Oh my god, the Rhino now. 3 size. Asia release. Kinda lucky that, like, if opponent had drawn from the deck right now, before like drawing a random card, they would have hit Rhino and release for it. That would have been scary.
Okay, I need to ask, why is the 3-hex position as so?
You like it down there touching the rock? Is there really a difference? Oh yeah,
well,
5 size.
Yeah, so if you had tilted the 3-hex downwards to touch the water completely, then the PFAL's buildings can go up, kiosk and pavilion. It can draw a card, but we sell it. That's fine. And then there's still a 5-hex area left over top right.
It's a small difference, but yeah, it's actually kind of important, I think, yeah. It's just a better kiosk location.
And not only that, we would leave a 4-hex on the left if we configure the 3-hex to be more downward.
And that's super relevant when there's a Rhino here. So yeah, that's a kind of minor thing. It's a kind of thing that looks minor, but it's actually pretty important. Opponent just causes break with cards, and they snap up the Rhino. Rhino also being double project. Still, we do have PFAL release, I guess. Okay, victory column, then income, good. And we're just starting by playing the PFAL. You interested in drawing up native lizards here, or just draw from the deck?
Not particularly. Going down the rocks at this stage is a bit of a diversion. There are only 7 at most. It's not that much payoff.
If there was a nice 5-size animal to play, like you do Kiosk Pavilion 5-size down here, then it would be pretty tempting, because then you're touching like 5 rocks. It's not bad to play then.
There is a 5-hex, but
yeah,
it needs water.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Draws water playground.
Well, that's useful because that guarantees our sponsors does something that is not breaking, which is not exactly something we want to be doing, since we want to keep the option of releasing PFAL open.
Well, okay, are you actually interested in releasing the PFAL? Because it does give you a project immediately, but it also takes away an Asia icon from yourself. And it's not a great release, and we know the opponent can leech off it with the Rhino, which is a slightly better release.
Yeah, well, probably not at the end of the day, but
And it just starts off with
well,
second
just the same.
university to 5 rep for another upgrade. Yeah, Arrigo choosing not to do release, just grabbing second partner zoo here. Which I guess is going to be question mark. Americas?
When in doubt, cheat and take another Asia. I'm just kidding.
Well, I was going to say Americas because we have the release, so it has some upside for that if we do find a Muskox or Jaguar or something. But
Okay,
also,
this is the great Americas versus Africa debate.
I don't think it is the debate here because we have habitat diversity and we have 2 Africa tags on the display.
Oh, true, right. But let's talk about it anyway. Let's pretend that habitat diversity did not exist and
Okay.
the Urbies project was only here. I would be taking Africa for the herbivores because you have at least 2 animals that almost certainly need it, the hippo and the zebra. And then you have the white rhino and the African elephant. So in an Urbies game, I'll be taking Africa and more than America's in a play. And
What
yes, there's
about
an expert in Africa.
what about in a game where you have America's release in your hand?
Not really. I mean, yeah, there's the Jaguar that could use that in America's partnership, but really you'd be taking the America's partnership for the animals that actually need it, and they're not great release candidates.
Well, hang on, we got the Muskox and the Bison as well.
No, it's
No? Well, Arrigo
no,
does
I'd
take
rather just
Americas. Because habitat
yeah,
diversity
because
does exist.
yes.
Choosing animals as an upgrade first, though.
It's a safe default. You need it at some point in the game.
With the elephant here as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, opponent chooses sponsors as their second upgrade. They play European Pond Turtle. Interesting. Just water playground here. I don't know, you could also make the argument that we really want to do a cards action before a sponsors action. Because we kind of need to hit something. We might want to do cards more often than sponsors. It's kind of close. I think personally I'd do cards.
If you really want to get into my mind, you can be paranoid and think, oh no, they could have a science lab, and then they draw the elephant away and we're Saiyan.
So you would snap the elephant here?
Well, we don't even want sponsors that high, comparatively speaking, because we only have one. It's not that big of a deal. But yes, I'm just more paranoid about the elephant.
Okay. So, I mean, we'll ask the question when it comes to our cards action. Well, we get to see what they play. They just play diversity from range. That's a little bit awkward because that puts the elephant in danger of falling off the display now.
Well, they could just. Well, let's look at their map now because they could just draw the elephant if they want. Yeah,
Yeah,
their build is at 5.
elephant. Hmm.
They need at least a 4x for the rhino, so why not draw the elephant while they're at it? So we have to draw the elephant now if we want the elephant.
And the only 2 ways of doing that are petting zoo or snapping it.
No, oh, no. We're not even. Yeah, we're not even in range, so we only get one option here.
Arrigo agrees and snaps it up. It could also be just an animal to release. Sells the manga.
You would at least do Asia 4 before you release it, probably. There's nothing crazy at 5 and 8, maybe the 3x tokens, but it's not like a university or partnership, so I'd rather just do the Asia project first and then the release.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's for us to worry about later.
Opponent builds a 3 hex. Okay, we don't quite know what that means yet. I don't know about this one.
I actually agree with this.
Interesting.
And the reason why is you need to think about how the next 2 or 3 moves will unfold. So let's say we want to do build, because we have an elephant. Gloriousbui wants to do cards, that would leave break 5 away. No one has a clean way to cause break with their action order. So you need to realize that, yes, you want to do a Soch, but you don't have the choice to kick it down only a little. You have to kick it down all the way back to 1. You can't just scoot it a little bit to the left. So you have to clunkily, preemptively kick a Soch down so that the action order makes sense, because now we can build 5, they do cards, and we break 5. And a Soch would be at 3 compared to if we were to build and then just, now what do we kick down? There would be animals at 5 and then a Soch at 4. So we have to fix the order right now, if that makes sense.
I guess, but you could also just do clunky moves like sponsors at... I guess sponsors would be at 3. No, that's pretty bad. Okay. Well, I mean, we know Arrigo's next move anyway, which is going to be building the 5 size. Opponent draws from the deck. Does build the 5 size touching water. Yeah, okay. I guess break 5 now does make sense next move. Oh yeah, opponent's actually doing a build 2 action. Build 1 size.
I think we get some mixed messages from these enclosures. Like, I can't tell what's going on there. Is this a Habitat's 5 or Habitat's 2 or a release? Don't know.
Seems to me leaning pretty heavily towards Habitat's 5 rush. Probably eyeing the extra on Africa as well.
Yeah, it is the best default assumption. And you know what's really unfortunate? We break 5, they can just play Expert in Africa because we cannot get to Expert in Africa on time.
Yeah.
We can't snap it away.
Yeah,
Well,
that
we
is something
can,
we'll have
but
to
it
give
would
up.
be a waste. Yeah.
There's your zebra that you were talking about. There's the wolf, but we kept the America's release over the Savannah. Unfortunate.
Ooh.
Not a fan of that little move that just happened, which was gaining the victory column appeal after income.
It actually mattered.
Yeah.
15 is a break point.
Yeah. So that's 1 lost money. Keep a count on that. Yeah, them grabbing Asia partners, I think, very clearly signals.
Well, yeah, look, there's a barn owl sitting there. Assume they have Australia, and then there's the expert in Africa.
Well, they already have Europe. What they're missing is Americas and Australia.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But, I mean, this could also be Pilfer Monkey. That'd be pretty annoying. Because look at the animal we're about to play. Is this again?
It's the curse of having conservation points. It makes one specific card just that much worse to deal with.
Okay, if you saw this, would that be like a real consideration? Like you have to play around this?
Normally, I would, but we're screwing up our action order a lot. And then what's really annoying in this setup is that the set is obfuscated so much because it could just be that Asia was the missing continent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what if the 3 hex is for a cougar? And then there's a thorny devil or something in the 1 hex, and then they have their Habitat's 5. There was no macaque to worry about. We don't know. We just kind of have to deal with it.
So would you just play the elephant or do cards first?
I would just bite the bullet, do the elephant.
I think that's reasonable.
Hope it's not a macaque.
If it is, it's pretty damn disastrous. But end goals, well, keeping diverse species here. Not looking that good. Research zoo naturalist diverse species. Moment of truth. What do they have? Oh no.
This is the point where I say I hate this game.
This is going to be 5 money and one of these projects. Oh, they got the Asia release as well.
Hold on. Hold on. I would just give the release project at this point.
Really? I'd still rather hold on to this personally.
Because we can just associate by snap, have road control, and then upgrade cards to see more of the deck. I don't want to give $2 more worth of stuff.
I don't know, but I think the America's release project's better than your average card. That's the only thing.
Now, if we had lost the Americas project, then I would give them the final. Yeah.
Have you seen this before?
The Thorny Double? Like an actual Thorny Double?
No, I mean this replay, because you kind of predicted Thorny Devil even though this one size did not need to be touching a rock.
No, I have not seen it. I just know that the Thorny Devil is the infamous missing Australia. The Lesser Bird of Paradise is just too dang expensive.
Fair enough. Arrigo does cards first. Very understandable. Okay, now what the hell do you do? Okay, firstly, what do you discard here?
Thanks.
Well, it's obviously not the Vulture because that's Asia number 5. Expert in Herbies is actually Herbie number 2. Adventure Playground's just very decent. Release Project has the most upside.
Hear me out. We are throwing away that Vulture. Call it quits at Asia, or I'm sorry. We just need to be doing projects from here on.
I think Arrigo has a slightly better plan than your idea. They get rid of the Adventure Playground. It's a little bit risky because the opponent can break, but we have a feeling the opponent wants to play Expert on Africa anyway. But the plan is just Expert in Herbies into Herbivores too.
Oh, right.
But opponent does break, so yeah, it makes it very awkward now.
Happily, this was. I was going to say, happily, throwing away the playground wasn't very committal to anything, so we can just swerve however we want. If we really want to do Asia 4, we can, because of that break threat.
Well, here's the thing. Do you just, like, give up and take a university this action, like hand size? Or do you just say, I'm doing Asia 4? Or do you just say, I'm going to play Expert in Herbies and do Herbies 2, even if you break away my worker this move?
Well, okay, one thing that was very interesting was that our opponent did not play Expert in Africa, so maybe they have the Africa already. Like, no, they can't dispense all those continents that fast. I was going to say that they were going to do Habitat's 5 first, but then we even have the enclosures to get the animals down that quickly. There's no report to flock either, so I don't know what's going on their side. But back to our question. Yeah, just if the break is going to happen that quickly, just take the university and do Asia at its fullest. And it's not like our opponent is going to get 3 more Asias within the next round. They would have to build all the enclosures, and then the worst case they have next turn Asia as well, but we're faster than them, guaranteed.
It's kind of interesting, right? Because if you do Asia 4 now, you miss out on 2 CP, but like getting the extra 2 size is pretty nice in my opinion. I mean, Arrigo does just take university. I think it's... My first choice would have been, or my first gut instinct was like, just play Expert and Herbies anyway and just let them break our worker. But I think looking at it now, maybe just doing Asia 4 is just more correct. Just getting like a 2 size reward earlier.
Yeah, this break's going to happen fast, so if we're not going to be rushed on projects for this round, like, we'll just do the Asia 5, just go full with it, because our opponent can't threaten to take it away from us. And if we really have the answer in our hand, just this round's gonna go long.
I don't know about long. I mean, the break is on 7 out of 9, but
What I mean is it's gonna go long unless we say something about it, and we kind of have to say something about it now.
I don't know. I think we definitely have time to play expert in Herbies, but this is just break.
There's a reason I would not like to play expert in Herbies in this situation. Why I would agree with Arrigo by causing the break, because we want to build a 5x for the vulture, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so then if we did expert in Herbies, we would have 6 money, and then they could just expert in Africa to get that continent icon that they need, and then our cards is at 3, which is not drawing 2 cards. That's 3 less bucks than drawing two cards. It's just not great for action order. If we were to try to draw 2 cards, we would spend the next turn, and that's not fun. And besides, we really want to play X-Men RBs. Take 2 hex, put it on the marketing spot.
This is true, yeah. That's an option. The not victory column again, first hurt. This one doesn't affect income, but it's not a good habit to get into. You should always take the appeal first.
Yeah, it's like how I yell at all of you guys, stop drawing all the cards all at once. Stop drawing the cards from the row first and then from the deck. I hate you guys for it.
Oh, I always do that. You know why? I don't like... So normally what I'll do is I'll draw 2 from the deck first, then I'll draw the card I want, then I'll draw another from the deck, because I'm always concerned that I'm going to overdraw from the deck and forget that I need to draw from the row. So it's like a safety measure against myself.
It's understandable if user input is what you're scared of.
Yes. Opponent starts off with a cards action, just draws from the deck. Yeah, pretty confident now they have 5 habitats locked up. Yeah, this is 5 size move as expected. Draws a Stoat from the deck, not that interesting. Yeah, just gets sold immediately, goodbye. You actually, small thing, you probably want to hold off from selling it, because you want to play the vulture first and have more options to scavenge from.
There was never a reason to sell it still in the first place, because yeah, it's kind of useless, but you don't want to tell your opponent it was useless.
Yeah, that too.
And,
yeah, you give them more information.
And you're not time crunched on selling stuff anyway. We were only 1 over when breaks barely even gonna happen.
Not even 1 over. We do have hand size.
Oh. Oh yeah, I want to go back to that university, because I probably would have liked the 2-rep university over the 5-hand for one reason. That being, you would be at 4-rep instead of 3. Our animals actually would have gotten us to 5 instead of 4, and then we can decide if we want to upgrade Association, squeeze in a donation.
Very fair, yeah. I'm a fan of upgrading a Sos next action here for Arrigo. Oh no! We did know a little bit about the opponent's hand. We saw the Cobra in round 1. They do play it now. That's pretty brutal timing. This is just going to be like America's Partner Zoo most likely. Yeah, then they have Expert on Africa ready to go.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably best to get the Cobra over with, because now their own associate is sitting there useless at 5. Unless they have a spokesperson or something, then we're in deep trouble.
Well, we know they have Expert on Africa, so the question is, do they have another way of getting a rep? Now, this is just the vulture. Oh! How, though? How do we make this happen?
That's a question for another day, because there's no way I'm keeping the other 2. So we'll just keep it and then
figure it out later.
Yeah.
Expert on Africa. Opponent has all 5. They get cards out of the way first, okay. Expert in Herbies.
I want to pay attention to see how fast their opponent can get the 8th rep. I want to look at their board for a moment. Okay, not really quickly is the answer.
The quickest way would
Unless-
be petting zoo over the X token, spend an X to play animals.
Oh yeah. Okay. So okay. Well, it's almost certainly not a sponsor. Otherwise they would have done it by now.
It could be as well. They could also play like spokesperson for money.
Yeah. Well, the grand. Oh yeah, they have diversity research, and they can always get their X tokens.
Oh no,
Stuff.
4 size.
No, don't take the wolf.
Oh,
wait,
he
no,
dodged a bullet.
No, don't worry. Remember, they have the rhino.
Yes, true. They have the rhino, yes. So that's most likely for the rhino. At the very least, we are going to beat them to Asia 5 here. Yeah, chat is saying that we can just upgrade build. Feels a bit icky, but maybe the best solution to get this wolf out.
I just have to suck it up.
Yeah. 2 X's to do the project. I think we had time to do cards first. Don't really have to
this
be
is
worried
another
about
thing
Sunbear.
This is another thing I need to talk about because it happens a lot. There isn't much of a reason to be doing a Soch +2. Just do the cards 5. We probably are not upgrading cards, so there's no reason to delay using cards so that we get the upgrade version. The reason why you don't want to do +2 of Soch is, well, cards is a thing you need to be doing anyway. I know we all hate on building cards, but there's still building blocks that we need to do. And then it would cycle associate and animals and everything else that we need back up. We probably want build at 5. We want associate 1 higher, so we want to spend 1 X token. And if we need to push associate faster, well, we have that X token that we didn't use, but we're using it right now.
This is true, except for one thing, I think, which is that Arrigo really wants to snap up this wolf before it's gone. I think the main concern Arrigo has is the opponent playing it from range. Which seems really unlikely, but it's a small possibility. Plus, we're also about to get 3 X's.
Yeah, true. It depends on how paranoid you are of your opponent having specifically released Europe.
Yes. True, could have also flipped cards for the wolf, but yeah, Arrigo does flip build here. Sort of for the reason we discussed, which was kind of need that upgraded build to get a 4 size down. You could get a 4 size unupgraded here, but then you sort of mess up your way getting the ×2, which is not really desirable. Ooh. Grizzly Bear. Probably a bit too unplayable. So that's the way the opponent was going to get the rep. They have a long build Vulture.
Yeah, I did want to make the observation that they have the option of playing a rep animal like the Taper, or in this case, the Vulture. You have to make the observation they did not build a 4X on the X token, which meant if they are going to push to do a project as fast as possible, they already have the rep in some way, shape, or form. They didn't do it on the sponsor, so it's not a sponsor. It's not an X token. That means they do not have to do animals 4+1.
Yeah. They could have built it over the X token.
Yeah.
But they chose not to. So yeah, it was most likely going to be a rep animal. So that does get him their second worker. Whose position do you like more right now? I guess we can answer that after the opponent does their project, and then points are going to be basically back to level.
I still like our position more because they will only get 10. Well, yeah, they get 10 points from doing Habitats 5, but we have a wolf release. We also just drew a Zeus Skull, which is just nice as filler, and then it stops there, but we also have the expert in herbivores.
We also have elephant endgames.
Yeah. And I kind of wish we could steal their diversity researcher for this natural zoo.
Well, this is another interesting discussion topic. What do you discard here? Because do you still keep Zoo School with Naturalist as one of your endgames, looking like Research Zoo is pretty dead at the moment?
Yeah, probably not.
You still keep Zoo School?
Well, it's more like Do I like Zoo School more, or do I like Geologist more? Well, I don't really like either.
Oh yeah,
The
actually,
geologist,
just going back to the opponent's point of view, they still have Asia release, which they pilfered from us, and they have a Rhino, so I think they're pretty happy too.
that jerk. Yikes.
So I mean, Vulture release
Okay,
is just
so
as good as Wolf release, nearly.
yeah. So in terms of projects, we're even. They how's their their diversity research. Well, they're gonna lose a rock from the Vulture, but they could probably get the rock back. They also have Explorer in Africa, which has an end game that you can't sleep on because it just kind of creeps up
Yeah.
if left unattended.
Geo goes.
I don't play Arrigo. There's no rock. And it maybe the Zoo School draws up the card, but more likely than not, probably didn't remember they had natural zoo.
I think it's kind of close. Definitely want to keep the Wolf and the Fox. Maybe the Americas release, but at this point, we've held it for so long, we might as well just hold it for the rest of the game. Sunk cost fallacy and all. Opponent does take 2 size reward. And they take 5 money from 6 CP. They upgrade. They also get their last upgrade, so they're also 1 university ahead right now.
It's very likely they don't have an actual sponsor in this case, because if you upgrade sponsors, by the way, and you skip the marketing bonus from the CP track, you probably don't actually have one, because breaking with upgrade sponsors is really nice for the $10.
Yeah.
It actually makes a good profit. Just a little observation.
Yeah, so that, yeah, it does immediately tell us that they're most likely going to break 5. That does prompt Arrigo to spend 2 X's to break, which surprised me a little bit. What are your thoughts on breaking here?
I'm not seeing what's so high priority here in this pro. I guess the clunky thing is that if we wanted to build a 4-hex, we would have to sell one of these cards. And yeah, we all love the Fox is clever. Arrigo must be hanging on to that Release America's project and the Zoo School. So none of these cards must be sold, and that must be the rationale for breaking here, so that we can do a proper build 5.
Well, I think the other solution, we could have built a 4 hex over here and not worry about playing Zoo School for money, because there was enough money to build a 1 hex and a 4 hex.
Yeah, but people don't like burning their clevers. Well, yeah. Because the problem is, if we want to clever down sponsors, we would have to bank on our opponent causing the break, and they could just screw us over.
Oh, yeah, Robert also pointing out that with build upgraded, we can actually just build an aviary, which is probably a better solution, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Duh. There's also a Marabou here. We get a 5 size back. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no. The victory column.
At this point, I don't know if it matters at this point, but yes, just take the appeal first. I have it. Assume it does matter.
Snapping Marabou, Kawadi. Kawadi is America releasable.
It's an X token.
Yeah, it is an X token as well. Yeah, I like the X token. Opponent gets 2 sides over the rock. Well, we know they don't have naturalists, so kind of a weird placement, I guess. I guess they're saving their clever as well. They actually start off with a cards action at 4. So I guess they're sort of hunting for a sponsor.
Yeah, the first symptom, as I mentioned, was there was no sponsor from the marketing.
Yeah.
With sponsors upgraded.
So that confirms it, basically. Luke saying they might have native after release. They could build a bit better for native farm than these two. It's a possibility. Oh, the 5... I really like the Aviary idea. Yeah, I miss it as well. But 5 Tsais to play the Zeus School at the same time is not the worst.
The only bad thing about the Aver is that it kills the clever spot, which people get pretty attached to.
I think it's worth it because, like, we can play the Marabou as well, this action. That has to be worth it. Because this is just going to be a single animals action here. Okay, Zeus School over the Reputation, good. Why not 4+1 for the Fox? So I think the main thing is that when you play the Wolf into this 5 size, then we do the release, we get the 5 size enclosure back. We get any of the 5 sizes back, so I think that's probably slightly better than building a 1 for the Fox at the moment. I think Aviary beats both of the answers. Opponent plays a Barn Owl. We get a bit more information, because that was the card they scavenged up. I think we saw that fall off the display earlier in the game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was earlier.
You play that and the Taper. So, I mean, that's the rock icon that they get back. They really want to get rid of that Veiled Chameleon, and then they just dig from their hand as a second one. Okay. Ooh, spending an X to actually do Project first. Probably for 2 size reward then, right? Then we can play Fox and Wolf, or Kawadi and Wolf. Also secure the 10 money, which I think we want more than the 3 size, but it's kind of close.
It's most likely about the 10 money, because where's this 8th rep going to come from it, assuming we want to keep this round going on longer?
Yeah, it's probably...
And also just securing the first donation is also pretty important, because, look, our opponent could be doing a Soshat 3 to just take a partnership, which is good enough, but then they get the first donation and the 10 money. That's pretty annoying in our perspective.
Yeah. You're just getting rid of research here, I guess. Kind of sadly.
Nice.
Can still get 2 from Naturalist, but it's looking a bit more likely that we're going to fill map rather than get 2 CP.
Well, I don't think we're not getting 3 research icons. Okay, maybe we are, but then at that point it's just 1. That's also pretty sad.
Yeah. It is research that goes. Yeah, it's understandable, sitting on 0 at 37 points. Like, the game could end very quickly as well. Oh, wow.
What a draw.
That's probably from the Barn Owl that Explorer came out, but that is massive. Well, we know what this action's going to be. It's going to be Kawadi plus Wolf.
No, it's going to be Fox plus Wolf.
Wait, why Fox? No way.
Because we want to kick down cards, which is blocking 2 action, or yeah, at least 2 action sponsors and a Soch. We kick down cards, and then sponsors that 5. We break 5 plus 2 to get break 7 and have the threat of.
I think we have time to do cards and then just break 5. I think we can save the clever for a bit later.
Yeah, but we also want a Soch at 5. This is why we would want the clever or the X token.
Well, we don't have a worker. We don't want a Soch at 5 right now. We want break ASAP.
No. So let's say that we played the Fox instead of.
Yeah.
Then cards would be down, right?
Yeah, but then we have to spend 2 X's to break 7.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just okay with that. I think we have enough time that we can do cards and save the X tokens for the last round. That's my opinion. I think there is enough time that we can... Oh, wow. The opponent just builds a 4 size, which is presumably for the Rhino, but maybe they got rid of Asia release. That would be a bit crazy. That's a bit weird. They built a force size and play Tech Institute. Do you think they still have Asia release?
Yeah, probably. I remember that Rhino. And we still have that to worry about.
Yeah, I know, but like they're going to get the force size back from the Vulture release.
And that means that the other forehead can be used for something not good for us.
The other Rhino, they're playing both. Oh, okay. If we're doing this, then Fox is, yeah, just better. Okay. Now, break 7. In that case, Fox makes a lot more sense earlier. But yeah, I guess we always kind of did want to get cards out of the way and just break 7 before they get to spend their worker.
Oh, animals that are large.
Yeah, large animals looks very playable right now. I'm snapping that up for sure. That looks good, like large animals into Savannah.
Oh, not really.
Yeah, it has to be Savannah into large animals for actually getting the third worker. That's very awkward. Oh. If you're in the opponent's position, do you actually get your ×2 on a Sos right now? It feels kind of early.
It is absolutely not early because this is perfect for our opponent. They can do Asia 4, and then they can release Vulture.
I guess, yeah.
And they get to do 2 donations if they want.
Oh yeah, they are going to be first player, so yeah, the double donation is very big here. Oh, they have a reptile breeding, so they only have 2 cards in hand.
And we're just assuming that it's release Asia and...
I think they can't have release Asia anymore. I mean, their 2 cards are going to be like Rhino and something else. Let's see what they do. No, it's just Asia. I think there's no way they have release Asia anymore. That's probably why they built the war.
Yeah, it's gone, so it's the Rhino. And I swear to God, if they have the Pog Tortoise again.
But we know a lot about their hand. We think they have the Rhino. We know they have the Squirrel Monkey that they just drew up, and they have one other card. So if it's the Tortoise, that would be extremely fortunate for them. But now we do have time to do cards first. Kind of have to do that. Oh. I can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's playable with the Fox. It's releasable with the America's release project in the last round. It's not bad. Oh my god, opponent plays Vet. Yeah, let's talk about the opponent's endgames that have just like sort of crept up. Vet Tech Institute. Diversity Researcher. Nearly maxed out.
And all we got was this crappy elephant.
True. I mean, we still have double elephant endgames. We have good projects coming up.
Diversity Researcher ain't looking that bad.
Diversity Researcher? It's 4 appeal.
Oh no, I mean, sorry.
Diverse species. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, we're always going to win bears. I think that's the only guarantee, though. Oh, sorry, bears and predators are the only guarantees. Worker was expected. Donations fine. We're kind of rich.
We kind of wish that we could get the first donation so that our opponent could be ultra poor and just not donate.
Oh yeah,
it sucks that they beat us.
Winning 2 donations is a very big deal. Yeah, okay, large animals.
And we cry that Yeah, we had to lose one of them. It's unfortunate.
I think donating 12 is still acceptable here. But we have
No,
to
I
sell
mean the
export
fact that
Americas.
it's the fact that we had to lose a large animal so that we could do the large animals project.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Yeah, my opponent's just kind of out of cards, so they draw from the deck right now. I guess they'd be interested in the platypus for that last water tag. No, I guess not. Okay, for Arrigo here, I like playing the grizzly bear and, well, fox grizzly bear, sell expert on Americas. Probably the play.
The end line is that we play animals at 5, play grizzly and fennec fox, kick build down, break 5, and then associate 4+5 to our final project and get 2 universities.
And no reason not to do animals at 5 because we're going to get the X tokens back anyway from the grizzly bear. Yeah. Okay, I mean, this actually doesn't look that bad. Grizzly bear is also an extra CP for last worker. Get to clever build out of the way. It really depends on what animals the opponent has. I mean, let's see. We're expecting rhino for sure. Is it just going to be like squirrel, monkey plus rhino? Or flamingo plus rhino? Plus Tasmanian devil?
Now I want to wonder what happened to this rhino.
I think they still must have it. They're just planning on playing it in the last round. And that gets them species diversity with the Tas Devil.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Or there's also export on age here that they can just draw up, which I think they must. Or wow, they choose not to.
Now, if our opponent is reading onto what we're trying to do, which I always can assure you they can at 700 elo, they know we want to break and just end this game, hope for the best.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm not sure Arrigo can even end with, I guess he can with, like, triple university and donation. Grizzly Bear is only +6, though. I guess donation plus... Yeah, okay, so we can, like, just end. Oh, no! I don't like doing cards here. No, no, no.
No.
Ah, this is really bad because it gives the opponent time to play expert on Asia from range. Oh, that's like disastrous. Or it's just a snap up expert on Asia. Okay, maybe I'm a bit more on board.
No way, yeah. We do get 6 points out of that. That's pretty cool.
It gives the opponent time to grab, like, Partner Zoo? Do they care at all about that? But they could, like, grab Africa Partner Zoo clever back build out of the way. That gets them another CP.
Our opponent has no workers.
Okay, this is true, yeah, okay, fair enough. Oh, we could grab Partner Zoo. So is the onus actually on the opponent to break here?
We don't want a partner zoo. That gets us nothing. We want 2 universities.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, yeah, we do not want a Partner Zoo at all. Okay. Wow, they actually do just cause the break. That's a bit funny. Okay, in Arrigo's position, do you just end the game in 1 turn, or do you play Expert on Asia first?
Oh, that depends on if you think the opponent has a sun bear or not.
Yeah, well, that's the big question.
And looking at that profile pic, my confidence is destroyed.
Wombat.
But even if they did have a sun bear, well, the thing is, if they have a sun bear, we're toast anyway. So go with the timeline that you have a chance to win, which is they don't have a sun bear.
Just end this turn. Yeah, I agree because yeah, we can get triple university upgrade cards donation. I think just cross this turn or animals first. It is wombat plus reindeer. That's pretty tempting as well.
It would give us, okay, there is a rationale for this, which is it would give us
Plus
12
11.
more points. No, 12. The reason why is because reindeer is 1 point better than releasing the grizzly.
Ooh.
And it could be more if the opponent also plays a bear because of our end game.
Oh, like a sun bear, okay. That's some next level thinking. Always pouch. Yeah, Exponent Asia, because we can't play without crossing. Okay. I don't know if it's... Yeah, the main concern is the opponent just playing a Rhino here and then being able to do projects. Like, they only have 2 cards in hand. I still think ending would have been correct. They play Platypus, and I just assume it has to be the Rhino. Yeah, Rhino. I think it turns out ending would have just been better.
Yeah, it really does. It really is the question of is there a sun bear or not. But at the same point, you were probably screwed if they had a sun bear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see.
So, I mean, we got really, like, you said plus 12 out of that action, but...
They got, well, plus question mark, because we don't know if they had, well, we don't know if they had a project anyway, so the difference would be their hypothetical project if there was one, and then the animals, which, wait, the animals were already at least plus 13. Uh-oh. Yeah, we really should have just ended.
Yeah, well, University... I do like this order. We can draw a random card and maybe it's a better project. I guess habitat diversity is just as good. Yeah, we definitely don't want to release the reindeer. Because then we tie on herbivores. And it's the same as doing grizzly bear. So that's
Whoops.
fine. Still finishing on 113. But opponent gets to grab... Okay, they get to spend all their X's. So they can get 2 rep Last Partner Zoo for Worker and get 3 X tokens as reward. And they have perfect money to donate as well. Species diversity.
Our original.
Oh, they forgot vet. They forgot vet.
Oh no, is this going to be another case of forgetting that? God, oh no, don't tell me.
I think their end games are too good at the moment. We only have 1 from Naturalist.
I'm gonna laugh. It really is like that, but yeah, they probably just win anyway.
Naturals diverse, yeah. Vet, Tech Institute, Exponent Africa diversity. Forgot about Victory Column, but they did have Aquatic Park for 2. So I do think it was just 1 or lost on playing the animals as last action.
Yeah, let's think about it. Well, let's assume that. No, never mind. Let's go to our opponent's hand, see if there was a project that wasn't the rhinos in the first place, because we need to see how many points the opponent got.
Yeah, like if they have a project or not. But I'm convinced they did not. Well, I guess the main question is, did they have that Asia release all along? But I think the answer has to be no. We don't want to go right to the end because they were selling all their cards. So like move
429. Yeah, something like that. Because if they had a project in their hand, then the difference wouldn't be as big, but it's still pretty big. It'd probably still cost the game that Arrigo did animals. But there was no project in the hand. Yeah, there was no project.
Yeah, I was pretty confident on that as well. We did know about the squirrel monkey, but I guess they were selling cards. So no project, the best move would have been just doing like Partner Zoo 2 wrap, that's it. There was no... Oh, they could have done Savannah.
Okay, so if their best project was Savannah, then they've released the Tazzy Double, they get 5 points, but that's it. Versus the Rhino's 15-point project, plus the value from the playing animals anyway. Yeah, should have just ended the game.
It's a tough one. Because you can also, like, you can see the opponent just has a lot more endgames. But I think you do have to kind of bank on the fact that they don't have a Sunbear and they don't have another project to do. But yeah, their last action would have just been, I mean, does it even matter if they had a project? Like, their last action would have just been animals anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, we know the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Rhino project gives them, like, plus 15, basically. Well, plus a bit less for Savannah. If they play Rhino Platypus, do they not win anyway with endgames? They might.
So the Platypus was a +7 card because it was the difference for aquatic Ark. The Rhino was 9, so that's 16 points, and then the Rhino gave a project that was 10 better than what was available. Which means plus 26 compared to our measly plus 12.
Well, the other thing is that Arrigo would have lost another point for species diversity, getting overtaken in herbivores.
Yeah. Well, one, our opponent didn't know that.
Yeah.
2, it would have been enough. So yes, we should have ended.
Yeah, still a pretty exciting game though. That double pilfer was brutal straight after the elephant. So both games today were seeing double pilfer on this map. Pretty funny. I guess for the opponent, winning the Habitat 5 race was pretty big. But they also managed to find like fantastic mid-game sponsors with Explorer, Tech Institute, Vet. And then for Arrigo, like the elephant into Asia 5 was nice, but losing the Asia release was a pretty big deal. And getting the Savannah project back from the Vulture Scavenge was very nice. Although kind of awkward having to upgrade build to fit all these enclosures in. And I still would have liked to see the aviary instead of the other 5 size.
If he built an aviary, he would have had a much better chance at drawing the golden eagle.
Exactly. It's only guaranteed at that point if you have the aviary.
Wait, did he also build a 2-hex in the last round or not?
Yes, it was a 2-hex over the X token, so it made the difference between getting the last university or not.
Okay, so it did matter.
It's like, yeah, it's the same, but it did also allow him to play a second animal with the animals action, so it was worth it.
Yeah, because I was pretty sure that 2-hex killed Naturalist Point, unless I wasn't looking properly.
It did. It was the difference between 12 and 10, but yeah, the main thing was getting the X token from the board to get that last uni. No, that was the last game, so we are done now. That was a 31 turn game with 6 breaks. I think the last game had 6 breaks as well from memory. But yeah, thank you again for joining us, Andrew. That was very fun. Yeah, it did go for 2 hours, so you were right. So you can go get some sleep now.
Yeah, it's 7 a.m.
Or just stay up, get an energy drink or something.
Honestly, from the milk tea that I've been drinking, I'll be up. then I'll be asleep at like what 10 a.m. and then waking up at like 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's about my schedule sometimes. So anyway,
I'll see what. Good night.
thanks
Or
for
wait,
joining
good
us.
day.
Everyone in the chat saying thank you as well. Okay, yeah, thanks all for watching, and yeah, we're a bit less interactive with the chat, but that was worth it to hear Andrew's insights, I think. Definitely a lot of fun having him on, so thank you again, Andrew, and see you guys on Sunday for the BGA gameplay. Have a good rest of the day.